break. Got my Diet Coke from McDonald's. You know how I do. Want to chat today. You know, today it is blazing, so I don't know how long this video is going to be. It is very sunny and very hot. I mean, it is summer, but anyway, let's see what to talk about first. Well, quick things like some personal things. My GM for the game that I play online, his name's Ken. He lives in Cali. He flew to New York to see his fam, and we got to spend some time. We got to do an in-person game that was super fun. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to Mario. That's our online group. So shout out to those guys, and I got to see a bunch of guys that I haven't seen in a while, because we all came together to see Ken. So shout out to you guys, and talking with some of them, I got some ideas for some upcoming videos. Maybe some videos on like family-friendly role-playing games. Let me know if that's something that y'all want to see, because I got kiddos. I've run a few games for them. You know, maybe I can talk about the games that I've run. Let's see, anything else on the personal side? Oh, I guess Cypher System. Y'all know I'm a fan of Cypher System. I guess Cypher System is going to have an update sometime. I don't think it's going to be sometime soon. I think it's like a year out or something like that. But there are, you know, Monty Cook Games is talking about it, and they're doing like an email list if you want to be you know, alerted to updates that are being made public and stuff like that. And so that's something I'm watching, because I'm a big Cypher System fan. You know what I mean? So, and Monty Cook Games has been very generous to me and the channel. So I'm interested to see what happens with the Cypher System. Let's see, anything else? I don't think so. Shout out to everybody that's watching. How are you? Let's get right into some common role-playing questions. Like we're gonna do like some beginner questions today. Okay, some like beginner questions for tabletop role-playing games. Or back in my day, we called them pen and paper role-playing games. That's role-playing games that it's not video games. It's the type that you have the books and the paper and the pencils and some dice, and you're sitting around a table with some friends. Or nowadays online, doing like a Zoom call or whatever, or Discord. So some beginner questions about TTRPGs. Okay, so what is a TTRPG? What is a tabletop role-playing game? Well, it's a game where you sit around with some friends, usually, you know, in a group, same place, but you can play online. And you create a character, and you play that character in a fantasy world, and you and your friends pretty much tell a story together. Usually one of your friends is either called the GM, which is like the game master, or a different title, and that person kind of runs the world and the people in the world and the monsters in the world, and kind of sets the challenges out. And the other people are the players, and they play the you know, their character, usually their hero, in this world, and the heroes go do heroic stuff. That's kind of the general gist of a role-playing game. And so if I have a character and I've made him, he's my hero, and you know, oh, we get tasked with saving the princess from the dragon on Ghost Mountain or whatever, you know, I'm going to role play my character. I'm going to think, what would my character do in this situation? Oh, we encounter a troll on the way to Ghost Mountain, you know, how would my character deal with this troll and whatnot. So you're playing this character, and together with your friends, you're telling a story. And the number one thing is remembering that a role-playing game isn't truly about the killing the dragon or getting the super cool magical loot or whatever. That's part of it, and those things are fun. But what role-playing games are really about is getting together with your friends and having a great time, having fun together. Keep that number one, okay? Whole lot of problems start if something else becomes number one, okay? Keep that number one. How is it different than a board game? How is TTRPGs different than a board game? Well, a board game, oftentimes there's a loser and there's a winner. You know what I mean? Usually it's competitive. Not all of them, but usually. And you are oftentimes not making a character. And you're definitely usually not like having social interactions as that character and role-playing that character. Usually you're just doing mechanical bits of things with that character, if it even has a character. But in role-playing games, you're taking on this character, and you know, you're Rune the Barbarian. So what would Rune say in this situation? Rune faces the troll. What would Rune do facing a troll that is, you know, towering over him? You know what I mean? So I think the difference is in a role-playing game, you're asking yourself, what would this character do, and you're trying to control that character in that way. And in a board game, it's kind of more about the mechanical bits, you know, and achieving some goal, and not really telling like not too much about telling a story or acting as this character would. How do you find people to play with? Well, there's a lot of ways to do that now. I mean, I'm probably least familiar with this part because I just kind of find people in my friend circle to play with, you know, like, you know, get talking about it with somebody and they're like, oh, hey, I'd like to try that. Well, why don't you come to the next game? You know what I mean? Or, hey, how about we get a game going? You know, I had my wife play. Well, I asked my wife and she played for a while. So, you know, if you got a spouse or a partner that may be interested in playing, you got some friends, talk to them about it. Of course, you can find a group online. You know what I mean? There's groups starting online, and you can jump in there. You can start a group. If you want to be the GM, you can start a group online. Plenty of people want to play. Do you need to buy a lot of stuff? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. No, to get started, you don't have to buy a lot of stuff. In fact, you can get started for free. All you gotta do is Google, you know, free TTRPG quick start or something like that, and a lot of games have a free quick start, free, you know, several pages where it gives you some pre-made characters and an adventure that you can run, and just start out that way, and test the waters, man. If it may be something that you love, it may be something that it's really not for me. So test it out. Do one of those quick start adventures with a couple buddies or whatever, and that will let you know, like, hey, you know, we dig this or we don't, and if you do dig it, you know, maybe there's some more free material that you can run through. But eventually, if you want to get, you know, the core books, you can. And there's some games where you have to buy multiple books to run the whole game. You know, there's a very, very well-known game that requires 3 core books for you to play and run that game. 3 core rule books, and they're about $40-50 a piece. You know, so that's a pretty good investment right there. But then there's other games which come in just 1 book. This is Tidal Blades by Monte Cook Games. They sent this to me complimentary so I can share it with you guys. So I just want to, you know, transparency. But Tidal Blades is all in 1 book. So, but that 1 book is a little costly. I think it's like, what's the MSRP on this? $69.99. So, so you don't have to buy 3 books that are $40-50 a piece. You gotta buy 1 book. It's kind of a pricey book, but it's all in 1 book, and you don't have to buy any more after that to run and play the game. But there's other games that are, excuse me. There's other games that are free or cheap, and you can find those online. I mean, there's and you can go on DriveThruRPG and find free material, free games for you to download, or pay a small fee for. So yeah, you don't have to start out putting hundreds of dollars into the hobby. You know what I mean? Just download a free quick start. If you got a set of dice, or you can buy a set of dice, you know, that's great. You know, 10, like, you know, 5, 6, 7, 10 bucks. If not, just download a dice roller on your phone. You dig? You can get started that way. So download a quick start adventure with pre-made characters, and download a dice roller, and get role playing this, you know, this weekend. It is the weekend. Okay, next weekend. You know what I mean? Do you have to memorize all the rules before starting? No. You think I'm going to be able to memorize all of that? No. You just need to have a general gist of how the game plays. Usually every game has a core mechanic. Like, roll a D20, which is a 20-sided dice, and add a number. And usually it's like your skill in something. So roll a D20 and add your attack skill or whatever. And so every game usually has a core mechanic. Learn the core mechanic. Learn how to do things in the game, like, you know, lock picking or whatever. Learn how to do combat in the game, because combat happens a lot in role-playing games. And learn how to make a character. You learn those few things, and you've gotten a pretty good amount of that system, at least enough to, in my opinion, start playing, right? So, and then the rest you can kind of learn as you go. You know, look it up as you need it if you have to. But no, you don't have to memorize the rule book cover to cover before you start playing. No, just get the core fundamental stuff down, and then start playing, and you can figure out the rest as you have to. What happens if you forget a rule or you don't know a rule? First off, if you don't know a rule, make one up. Make one up. If you know the core mechanic, and you don't know, hey, I don't know how I would have somebody swim against the tide that's trying to pull them this way. You know the core mechanic? Just have them do a core mechanic check. You know, just be like, oh, it's D20 plus your strength score against the 15 or something. You know what I mean? Later on, you can look up in the book if there's rules on swimming and difficulty and all this. Make up a rule. It's fine. It's okay. If you forget a rule, it's okay. Like later on, after the game, you're flipping through and you're like, oh, there's the swimming rule. Okay, just let the players know next time. Like, hey, that one time we did the swimming thing, I didn't know the rules, so I just kind of made one up on the spot. But this is how it's supposed to work, and that's how we're going to do it from now on. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Remember, what's the number one reason to play role-playing games? To get together with your friends and have a fun time. It's not about making sure that you perfectly simulated swimming or whatever, or completed all 13 levels of the Dungeon of the Black Dragon Dagadoo or something like that. No, all that is the smoke and mirrors for you to have fun with your friends. Keep that in mind. If the rules come between you and the fun, move the rules out of the way. Make up the rules. It doesn't matter. There is no rule police that are going to hop out of vans and arrest you because you didn't do a skill check right. Okay? And if you got somebody in the party, if you got a friend that's like a rules lawyer who knows all the rules, use them. Be like, hey man, how do I do this swim check? Do you remember? You know what I mean? And use them as like a compendium of knowledge. But yeah, so there's some common FAQs, frequently asked queries about TTRPGs. I gotta get going though because my lunch break is about up and I don't want to be late. Love the Diet Coke. Anyway, I hope that answered a couple of your questions. If not, I'll probably do more lives about TTRPG questions. And I hope y'all are doing well. Be nice to each other. Hope people are being nice to you. Life is hard. And, stick around. Stick around. Stick around. Hey, y'all know the phrase, the line that you've heard every time. Ready? Hey, it's Dusty and Dice. Grab some friends and roll some dice, bruh.